Hi, and welcome to the SoFa after our January break. Our program features the people, organizations, and communities that make up Southern Fairfield County. My name is Genesis Mosquera. I'm one of the Guided Pathways advisors here. Thank you so much for joining us. The SoFa is recorded here at the CT State-Norwalk production studio. Mentoring programs throughout Southern Fairfield County are designed to guide students, businesses, and others on a path to success. Today, we'll look at a few of these programs. First, let's visit with the Human Services Council in Norwalk. The organization's Norwalk Mentor Program matches students with supportive adult mentors for one-on-one guidance. This program was launched in 1986 and was a trailblazer in youth mentorship in the United States. Let's take a look.
The Norwalk Mentor Program is a school-based mentor program. We are in the 22 schools here in Norwalk Public Schools, and at each school we have a school liaison who helps coordinate the program at each site.
So we just met recently this starting school year. So Ariel is a freshman, and this is the first time we're having a mentor in the high school.
We talk about like everything. We can talk about like school, like
we talk about academics, talk about sports.
Yeah, sports.
Your future and your goals.
We are always recruiting for mentors. We would do just different events in the community. We do presentations, we do a lot of word of mouth, flyers, and coffee shops.
Counselors reach out to me and say that their students would like a mentor. I send the application and they send it back to me. I send it to Jasmine. Mentors a lot of times reach out to ask me questions or see when they can meet with the students or coordinate maybe a room for them to go to.
Mentors get to choose which grade and school they want to, so sometimes they like to choose a school that's next to their home or next to their work so that it's easy access to get to every week. So that is the commitment. And then the other commitment I like to say is an open mind and an open heart, and to be willing to share some life experiences and also to learn from a student. Being that we are school-based, their school performance and their attitude around school increases because they know that their mentors come in and see them here.
I like that, I'm more social because I'm not that social.
We talk about the balance of being able to keep her, her grades and everything that she has going on scholar-wise and the sports, keep it a balance.
If the student has been in the program for 2 or more years, they get a $2,000 scholarship. So whether they decide to go to a 2-year or 4-year or trade school, they get that at the end. We know that, it's making an impact. We have 412 kids in the program. School counselors are referring people every day to me, so there's still very much a need.
The Starfish Connection is a mentorship program in Stamford that provides long-term mentoring for students beginning in elementary school and lasting through high school. The unique program supports students in both academics and extracurriculars while encouraging them to become active participants in their community.
I am David Martin. I am the former mayor of Stamford and the chairman of the board of the Starfish organization. "16 years ago, my late wife and I were the organizers and creators of the Starfish organization. The mentors and the team leaders and the board, they pitch in to take kids who are coming from disadvantaged backgrounds or disadvantaged situations, starting them with the 3rd grade or 4th grade and taking them through 10 years to get to the point where they're actually entering college.
A very good friend was a mentor in the program for many years and said to me, "Tim, this might be something you might want to do. I could make some contribution to some child," and I jumped in with both feet and haven't regretted it since.
The Italian Center was founded in the early 1900s as a nonprofit to serve the community, really. And so one of our members, Peter, came to me and mentioned that he was affiliated with Starfish and said so many of the young people don't have the ability to swim, they have not tried to swim, and it's really a life skill that every kid needs to have and should have. So it was absolutely a no-brainer for us. I said, okay, let's figure it out.
My position in here in the IC is being a lifeguard of the pool in the summertime or sometimes in the wintertime also, so it's a good experience to learn. My favorite part of working is definitely helping people learn how to swim. It feels like I'm doing it for them, and it's helps me with all passion. It helps me achieve their goal.
We just did things that ordinary mentors would do, going to different activities, going into New York City for museums, and he just, over time, began to open up and blossom.
I think the Starfish does a tremendous amount of work with young people here in Stamford. It's really an impressive organization that we've worked with many nonprofits, whether it be person-to-person, child care learning centers, a lot of different nonprofits here in the city and in the region, and it's important for us to really give back and to help young people when and where we can.
We've put a lot of kids on a path to better economic freedom and happiness and choices in life to fulfill their potential, and the mentors are the ones that do that.
Another successful mentorship program is Uplift here at CT State-Norwalk. The program uses a holistic approach to empower young men of color through a supportive environment. The goal is to foster a culture of high achievement among its participants. We're joined by Uplift Program Coordinator, Curtis Antrim. Hi, Curtis. How are you doing?
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us. Can you please tell us a little bit about the Uplift program's history?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me this platform to speak about the Uplift program, which I'm very passionate about. The history began at a graduation ceremony probably 15, 16 years ago. I was sitting in the back row along with my colleague Al Thomas, and we were watching the students cross the stage and get their diplomas. And kind of in a cursory way, we said to each other, where's all the guys at? We were like, where's all our guys? And the guys we were referring to were all the black and the brown young men over the past years or couple of years that we serviced. We normally notice those students come in late, come in with their mother, always asking questions. So we said to each other, we know that they're here, but what the heck is going on? They're not graduating. Mm-hmm. So I believe that was the birth of the program, because we said, hey, we got to do something. So that next week, Al Thomas went up to our IR department, and he got the numbers of who was graduating. And of that graduation class, believe it or not, only 2 black males graduated from that class.
Wow.
And we said to ourselves, we've got to do something. So from there, we started to put some flyers up, and we wanted to find out what the heck is going on. That was the truth.
Yeah.
We're like, what's going on with these guys that they aren't graduating? So unofficially, we began to meet one day a week, and we got them together. The first meeting was about 17 guys, and I said they were black and brown. And the Uplift name actually, you probably asked that, kind of reflects that population, because we wanted to get together and see how we can help them. That's how it really started. We wanted to get their feedback. So that was the actual genesis from it.
That's an amazing story. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing. Have you seen any, or what is the turnaround that you have seen from the beginning of Uplift story until now? About how many more students do you see that are taking advantage of this program, and how has the graduation rate increased?
I was sitting here trying to figure out was it a 360 or a 180. We started with a small group of students, about 17. Currently, we service 50 students. The program within itself, 180. Number one, we weren't really supported by campus, the campus organizations. We did get the blessing years ago from the president, but we weren't one of the standing committees. There was pushback, and I'm not ashamed to say it, on our campus, because there was a question by faculty and others, why do we need another layer of support for this special group of students? So over the years, we had to always answer that question, answer the question, what is Uplift? Answer the question, why we're extending ourselves. There was no financial support. I did receive $1,500 once a year for a Perkins grant to do some activities with the students. And we normally partnered with other community organizations on the campus to do some type of off-campus event. But essentially, I've seen a change because, number one, it was more than adding another layer, which a lot of people don't get it.
Right.
It was to unify and give them support. When we met with those students years ago, it hasn't changed. The voice from the students wanted someone that they can identify with. They even went to another layer and said a lot of them don't have a man, a father, or a big brother that has traveled that route. That route is the higher ed. And they wanted somebody to look to, talk to, and feel comfortable with. Since that time, we've added other requirements. The academics is number one. And again, we're not another layer. We're support. We want to support the services that are already available on our campus. As you know, we have excellent wraparound services. So there's no need to add to that. They just needed a safe place to come, to be able to speak to some people. And basically, what we're doing is giving them the same information that they're getting from all the other support services. Our language and our approach might be different. The professional term would be intrusive counseling, which basically means we're in their face. We're in their face, we're on their neck, we're pushing them, we're cajoling them. We're their cheerleaders, where there's no cheerleader at home. We're their dads, where there's no dad at home. We're their big brothers or their uncle, where they don't have that. And so that seems to be an excellent, I don't want to say it's a secret, but it works. We're seeing the increase of the gateway classes, which are the math and the English. Our students, our men, were having difficulty climbing that hurdle or passing those classes to get to the next level. With the current support service that we already have, with the encouragement, and there's now I want to say private tutoring, special tutoring set aside for Uplift students. They're exceeding and doing very well. So.
I mean, that's beautiful. It sounds like you are figuring out the perfect recipe for a tight-knit community to provide these young men.
Yes.
With that community that you're building and that trust and that relationship, do you see often that those students that are graduating tend to come back and kind of return the favor for those that are starting to join the Uplift program?
Unequivocally, yes. Just this past week, for the break, students came back. 2 students from Southern, and they're graduating. They're involved in community programs. They've got job offers. One student is getting his bachelor's degree in business administration with, I guess, a focus in AI. So he's doing some cutting edge work. Another student's getting his bachelor's in sports management. He's already employed by the city of Greenwich. There's hundreds of students that are out there, hundreds that we have placed within Connecticut's system and outside of the system. And they always want to give back, and they're trying to find ways to keep them, number one, keep the program moving forward, and 2, how can they help? That's the number one thing. Hey, what can I do to help? Can I speak to the guys? Can I give them some pointers? What can I do? So that's the community that we were looking for. The whole key was if we can get the students to speak the same language, that look like each other, to come back and help one another, then we've done our job. The uplift, one helping another, one lifting up another. So that's really what it was about. Not again to add another layer. Use the services that we already have.
Right.
We just needed to be that voice to tell them they're good, the people there care, and that you would benefit from participating in the services that we have.
That's amazing. I mean, it sounds like it's working. So another question we have is, how can students get involved with this program, with Uplift?
Well, the involvement, I guess, is twofold. Number one, you can just go online, fill out an application, which many do. We have an active population of 50, and then I say there's others. The others are total, there's about 75 students. Other students are those that already work. Some have families, some have outside obligations, so they can't be involved in a lot of the outside the classroom activities. A lot of our current Uplift students actually work on campus. We have on-campus internships. Awesome. So I think we have about 25 students actually working on campus.
That's great.
Yeah, from the IT over into nursing and the counseling, admissions, all throughout the campus. And they're getting great life skills and work skills, so they're involved. And I'll say this, if you can get students of any background involved in the campus matrix, that's one of the top best practices, because the students now feel like they're a part of the campus. And that's what was missing when those students, those first early years, students came, but they weren't involved in any type of activity. So neither were they connected with any of the faculty or staff, so they didn't really know what was going on. They just came to class and left and went home, so they weren't involved. So this way, for the first week that we're here, we want to get them engaged in campus activities.
That's definitely something that could work for students, so thank you so much for sharing that. This program started here at Norwalk campus with the consolidation of Connecticut's community college system. What are the hopes for Uplift's future?
That the program would get the same support on other campuses. There's talk of other Uplift branches being established at Housatonic and at Naugatuck Community College and others. But I would hope that the same principles and the same support that we have here, that they would also have that as well. That number one, it would be academics. This is not a social club. This is an academic club, which we provide academic mentoring. So that being said, we would hope that that would continue. And the support is important. Yes, we have activities, we go on college trips, we do recreational trips, we went to baseball games, we had basketball, we're involved in campus activities. We had over 17 of the Uplift guys participate in our recent open house as campus tour guides, and they answered questions. So that gave them an opportunity to meet new families, new students, and be involved in our recruitment process. And really, isn't that what it's all about, to get the students engaged and make this their college? They're making it their college experience. So that's the vision, and that's the hope, that it would spread throughout the state of Connecticut. And there's actually some other campuses outside of the state of Connecticut that want to kind of take the program as we're doing it and kind of mirror what we're doing on their campus.
Absolutely. We definitely hope that this tight-knit community gets bigger and bigger. The bigger, the better. The more the merrier, right?
Yes.
So for any students that are interested in joining Uplift, what is something you would like for them to know?
Well, that we want them to be involved. There's quite a few benefits that students receive from the current Uplift program. When I said the current, in years past, we didn't have it where they can have internships, the mentoring. We have bi-monthly gatherings or talks where we bring in professional male of color to the campus where they can share not only professionally, socially, about day-to-day living. In the past, they received gift cards and a stipend at the end of the semester for any student that was passing or 3.0, 3.5. So we acknowledge their academic accomplishments. So in saying all that, there's great benefits, there's great support, but at the same time, we want them to reciprocate by giving back to the group, giving back to the campus. And that's really how life and how I see it. You just don't take, but you got to give back.
Absolutely.
And we would hope that when they're given, that they would give back more than they ever received.
That's great.
So.
Thank you so much for joining us, Curtis. This was amazing. Thank you for your insight, your advocacy, and we definitely hope that some of our viewers join Uplift. Any information that you would like for them to know?
Sure, just go to our, though it's changing, our home webpage. You can type in Uplift program, find out some of the activities and the requirements that we have, and get involved. Come on and get involved. Come over to the West Campus 116 and meet some of your fellow students, ask questions, learn what's going on, and make a friend, as well as succeed in your academic endeavors. So thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely, and thank you to our viewers. If you have an idea to share or would like to be featured on our show, email us at the.sofa.webseries@gmail.com. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.